So this is the what's on top of me, above my house.
Just check out this flat top of this hill. This flat top can be seen for miles and miles and miles.
Huh.
All around. It's just the oddest flat peak. It's the only flat peak in the south that seems natural.
Oh, I see what you're... Yes, I have been up here.
Yeah, I've been up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just didn't recognize that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I have been up. I remember these stones.
Okay. Then you've been here and done that.
Yeah. But being up here with you now puts things in a little better perspective because I had no idea what these stones were, or these markers were.
These markers are represent and stand for the different families, all the different families of the Oshiro village, which in the old days was not Oshiro, it was Ufugushiku.
Ufugushiku.
Ufugushiku, the Okinawan way to say Oshiro. And there's just simply the family names.
Huh.
The Munchu, the family groups.
Uh-huh.
The Noro step. This is a new sign. I've never seen this before. So. Oh, look at this. Here's a rare date. They just put it up. The last year of Heisei. They just put this up in March. Just now, basically. That's a very short-lived date. It's already over.
Huh.
We're already into the new emperor's reign.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Noro step, place of prayer. I'm not used to this.
Don't worry about it. Just pretend it's not there.
Anyway, every family can come up here and they have their place to pray.
Uh-huh.
It's all in
Now, do these stones here represent anything in particular?
You know, I think old foundation stones, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Castle, an old part of an old home or gate. I don't know.
Okay.
This castle is not my specialty. But still, look at the thick moss here.
Yeah.
Some trails for different old worship sites, little shrines and different gods.
Yeah, I didn't go any further than this right here.
No, see this tree? See way down there?
Okay.
Come over here so it's a better view.
Oh, okay.
I'm more interested in this banyan tree here, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
So I spent an hour, went down the cliff over there, climbing through the bushes for an hour, watching out for snakes. I was bound and determined to get to the bottom of this tree and look up at it. It's been an hour, I couldn't find it. I think I've got in the wrong place.
No.
But I wound up at a couple of other worship sites, little shrines.
So it was worth the trip.
Oh, it was worth the trip. Yeah. Every time I've gotten lost on Okinawa, it's always been worth the trip.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. In fact, some of the most interesting things that I've found were the result of being never lost, just really, really disoriented. Yeah.
As you know, any strange rock, any strange tree,
Yeah.
that becomes
It's a Nutaki.
a site of worship, yeah. There you see 4 stones, 4 altars instead of 3.
Which is kind of unusual, isn't it? They usually,
Yeah,
I see them in threes.
3 stones, 3 altars is the general thing, but every once in a while you'll see 4. The most stones I ever saw at one time, at one place in one shrine, was 14.
Oh,
14 sacred stones.
holy crap. Huh. Yeah.
Tell you what's the good thing about these. Doesn't matter whether you believe or not, because people believe, it keeps the golf course developers away. 'Cause once you have a sacred site, once you have
It's
a sacred
hands off,
site,
right?
keeps the lumbermen away from the trees, keeps the backhoes away from putting a hotel, and so it does. you know, some people, oh, how can they? That's just fairy tales. How did? But let it go. Even the great statesman Sion, who was also the forestry official, they tried to figure out how to get all the Okinawans to stop cutting down the trees. They had to build the ships, but the forests were disappearing. Deforestation was a problem. No matter what they said, no matter what laws they made, they were just cutting down the trees. Then they figured out, well, the people are very superstitious, so they went in, government went in and made sacred groves where all the good trees were, ropes, and you can't go in there because that's where God is. If you cut any of those trees, you're going to get sick, your house will burn down, your children are going to, you know. And so that was one of the tricks.
And there will be no further fertility in your family.
Yes. No first sons.
Yeah.
That saved a lot of trees.
Yeah. And that's where we just came out of. And we'll go down this way. And I might have already been down this way last month when I was in here. Look at that tree.
My favorite spot like this is actually close by, over by the Osato Castle. You went with John Shoreline. There was a big tree and it had there was a lot of shrines in there.
Right.
Gimu Giri, the Giri Castle site. You go up and it's just shrines. That's all it was. Left, right, left, right. But there was something similar to this, a big tree with a rock. I like this kind of stuff. More primitive.
Yeah.
No Tory gates. Okay. You'll notice there's no Japanese Torii gate here. No red gate, no fancy. It's all natural animism. We're out in nowhere, that's why there's no Torii gate. But the more you get to the cities or larger villages, you'll start to find Japanese Torii in front of an Okinawa worship site. The reason for that is the Japanese tried to bring the gods of Okinawa animism into the national Shinto emperor system,
Right.
and make the Okinawan gods Japanese gods, so that the Okinawans, when they pray, were taught that they're praying to Japanese gods, or part of that pantheon, which as children were raised in this teaching, they're Japanese. The gods of Okinawa and gods of Japan and the emperor, it's all one. So that's what that Torii gate is. It's an attempt to bring Okinawa animism into the emperor state Shinto system at that time.
At that time.
Before
right.
the war. Yep. Just like what they did with Shuri Castle. They took the king's castle, and for 20 years they turned it into an Okinawa shrine. The name of it was no longer Shuri Castle, it was the Okinawa Shrine, and people went there to worship the emperor. Not to remember the Ryukyu kingdom or to see it as a castle of Okinawa. Completely converted into a shrine. And that's what America bombed in World War II. Not Shuri Castle, they bombed the Okinawa Shrine where people were worshiping the emperor.